Hey, it's CVV, Chris Van Vliet, and you have to check out the fastest rising podcast in all of professional wrestling. I'm talking about the Crash and Burn Wrestling Podcast. If you're looking for pay-per-view predictions, if you're looking for pay-per-view reviews, if you're looking for interviews, check out the Crash and Burn Wrestling Podcast.
Crash and Burn!
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Crash and Burn, where we are reviewing Extreme Rules 2010. Before we get to this episode, let's bring in Wyatt.
AKA the man who requested to do this episode, and the person who has this DVD right here. This is actually the first ever wrestling DVD I actually ever owned. Back in the day. But yeah, we did his Extreme Rules weekend, and we should do a throwback to Extreme Rules. So I think we should do Extreme Rules 2010, which was a pretty good Extreme Rules in my opinion. But I mean, it was a very stacked card, very extreme card, because that was where True Extreme actually came from.
Before they went so PG.
In 2021, Extreme Rules is the total opposite. So, if you want to, Jason, let's start the card and let's get everyone to know what happened at this show that night, which took place in Baltimore, Maryland, in the Royal Farms Arena.
Yeah, and during that time, it was called the First Mariner Arena. Yeah.
There are plenty of times.
That was April 25th, 2010. Be prepared to hear me say, good storytelling through all matches.
Which it did.
What? Yeah. So, let's begin our review for Extreme Rules 2010. The Hart Dynasty won by last eliminating Sheamus in a gauntlet match. Good storytelling. Why? How about you go ahead?
There wasn't even a story to it.
I just don't know what I'm talking about at this point, but go ahead.
Did you even watch any of the pay-per-view?
I'm going off from what I know, from what I've seen on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah, if you didn't know, that wasn't originally supposed to be the first match that night. It was supposed to be Triple H versus Sheamus in the street fight, but we're not going to get to that till later because, Sheamus fucked Triple H, music hit, Sheamus fucked him up backstage, so WWE needed to find a plan to have the first match, so it became Sheamus in the Big Show, not Sheamus in the Big Show, The Miz in the Big Show, Mark Henry and MVP, R-Truth and John Morrison, and the Hart Dynasty in a tag team turmoil match. And Teddy Long said, whichever team beats you, that will be the tag team you'll be facing tomorrow night for your titles this Monday on Raw. So, Sheamus went against Truth and Morrison, who they actually originally faced at WrestleMania 26. Sheamus beat him. Then you had MVP and Mark Henry come out. Sheamus beat him. And of course, Miz bragged that Sheamus is the greatest tag team in WWE history, which was a tag team that never felt like dreams. Then you had the Hart Dynasty come out. You became the newest fresh tag team, which became the top tag team of the Raw tag division that year, which the Hart Dynasty got the job done, managed by Natalya. And the following night on Raw, the Hart Dynasty became the new tag team champions, which led to the Big Show turning on the Miz. And Big Show having a babyface turn, which those tag teams got unified to original tag belts, and the World Tag Team titles officially retired. But, as of the tag team titles, they actually were two belts at the time, like the WWE World Heavyweight title was in 2014, 2013. So, the Hart Dynasty became the new top tag team of the tag division, and that led to something new, which was Tyson Kidd and David Hart Smith, if you didn't know who the Hart Dynasty was.
All right. Now this is a hair match, which featured CM Punk, who's now in AEW. He had Luke Gallows and Serena by his side. Defeated Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, and if you didn't know, there was a stipulation to that match.
A hair match, yeah.
Yeah, if CM Punk lost, his head would be shaved. But sadly,
He won, which I thought it was pretty good.
I thought the match was really well played. You know, you did have like Luke Gallows and Serena Deeb try to help Punk win, which the referee did eject them from ringside. I mean, Punk and Mysterio did have a really good rivalry that year. You know, Mysterio beat Punk at Mania 26 that year, so, you know, it's kind of Punk's turn to win that fight. And the big upset was there was a chair that got through in the ring, and there was some guy with a hoodie on, which I figured that was Joey Mercury, was under the ring and helped CM Punk win the match, which Punk had the win that night. And that led to Over the Limit 2010, which Punk actually lost his hair, but we'll review that pay-per-view in the future. Don't want to discuss Over the Limit 2010. But Punk took the victory. Punk still had his hair while it lasted. But, you know, that hair had to go. But
Yeah.
you had the Straight Edge Society that was kicking ass. But I'm going to tell you, that was actually a really good rivalry. Full story. What did you think about the match?
A total story, and this match indeed was a good one, and at least CM Punk won because it's CM Punk. Now this is a strap match. JTG defeated Shad Gaspard, which is a pretty nice short match, a pretty decent one. Wyatt, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I remember this match. I know how it all started, you know, Crime Time breaking up, you know, one of the greatest tag teams and one of the greatest performers and talents, you know, in the Ruthless Aggression era and the PG era. I mean, it was a very huge upset that Crime Time actually split up, which I don't think they should have ever, because Shad Gaspard eliminates JTG in the Battle Royal. That happened at WrestleMania 26. And then you had that leading to Shad Gaspard turning on JTG on an episode of SmackDown, which Shad's heel turn led to him going downfall to his run in WWE, which got to him getting released later that year. And I mean, Shad was going to be JTG after all. I mean, it was just very sad to see this. It's like comparing that to Big Cass turning on Enzo. Like, a tag teams like that should have never split up.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. I mean, JTG, ever since Shad left the company, that led to JTG just getting put on pre-shows and dark matches.
Oh wow.
But you know, JTG was always on dark matches. JTG never had his TV time ever since Crime Time.
Yeah, I barely watched in 2010, so I'm going off from what I know.
Yeah. I mean, it was just Shad, and of course, Shad Gaspard, we missed you.
Oh yeah, that's right. So Jake Hager defeated Randy Orton. Extreme Rules match.
Swagger.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Okay. You know, Jack Swagger recently won the Money in the Bank ladder match, and that led to him cashing in on Jericho. Gut wrench powerbomb, got the job done. You know, Randy Orton was in line to capture the title off Swagger, which it would have been nice if Randy actually won that match, but I don't think there's actually a point of him winning, you know, with Swagger, because, you know, Orton was on the Raw brand. Swagger was on SmackDown. I don't think there was a reason for Randy to even win that match. So Swagger was, of course, going to take the win. I mean, the match was very decent for an Extreme Rules match. I mean, the match could have been a little better. But, you know, Swagger's world title run was actually, you know, a world title run that wasn't the point of all. I mean, Swagger was a very forgettable World Heavyweight Champion. And that match was actually one of the most forgettable matches, I thought, in Extreme Rules history. Like, I'm sure people don't even remember them two going one-on-one in an Extreme Rules match. But then after Randy lost, after walking out, that led to Sheamus walking out for his match with Triple H.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Well, I guess you have to say there it's a forgettable match in Extreme Rules, but again, I barely remember anything in 2010. So, anyways, Sheamus defeated Triple H street fight. From what I know here, it's a pretty good match. It's pretty solid, but Go ahead, Wyatt.
Oh yeah, that was definitely one of my favorite matches that night. To be exact, I'm wearing a Triple H shirt at this point right now. I mean, I enjoyed it. It really didn't feel the best of a street fight, but Sheamus was out cutting a promo with the metal pole that he had, and then announced that he's going to be the winner. And then Todd Grisham's backstage saying that Triple H is unable to compete, and Triple H breaks out of the training in the medical room, which Triple H walked out and then doesn't want to get and wants to get the job done, and then Triple H comes out ready for this fight, and then Triple H and Sheamus fight for each other. And before they even had, they've had a match at WrestleMania 26, which Triple H beat him. And I know their story all started from Elimination Chamber 2010, and Sheamus becoming a destructive human being, with him whacking the monitors onto Kofi Kingston 2 weeks in a row, and the pole to be exact as well. Triple H and Sheamus, brawled the hell out of each other. You had Sheamus whack him with a kendo stick, the pole. Crazy the fact where Sheamus got rolled Triple H over his shoulder, and Triple H landed on the hard steel of the stage, and that led them getting back to the ring. And then Sheamus bro kicks him to the corner, took 2 bro kicks to get Triple H over with. And Triple H makes a huge upset for Sheamus to win the match. And then the EMTs come over trying to carry Triple H out, but Triple H refuses, walks out, and then Sheamus comes back out, bro kicks Triple H again, and then Triple H gets carried out in a stretcher, which made Triple H disappear for so many months. So he made his return in 2011 to fight The Undertaker.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, Beth Phoenix defeated Michelle McCool.
I forgot that match even happened that night.
Yeah.
I remember watching that match. I mean, it was pretty good. I mean, Beth Phoenix was the right person to win.
Well, yeah. All I'll say is good storytelling. If there was one. Yeah, I guess the right person won here, as you said there. Edge defeated Chris Jericho, steel cage match. From what I know here, one of the best matches of the night, at least from my opinion. When these two put it all on the line here. Go ahead.
Oh, I love this match. There was a lot of great chemistry between both men. I mean, Edge and Jericho. I think Edge and Jericho have actually fought in a steel cage more than once, if I'm right or wrong. But Edge and Jericho recently had a match at Mania 26, and Jericho, of course, lost the title to Swagger, and there's a lot of great counters. Once Jericho's walking out, Jericho refused to go in the cage, brought a chair in, didn't get the job done. Jericho was trying to find his way, getting himself out of the cage. I mean, and then one of the best counters of that was when they were both falling, and then Jericho puts Edge in the walls of Jericho, which Edge almost tapped in. And, there were, a lot of great reversible moves. I mean, Jericho a few times almost had the win, but it kind of felt like Jericho was actually carrying that fight. And it felt like Edge was actually in the midst of a babyface turn. But, then Jericho and Edge both get moved to Raw, and Edge falls back to a heel. But back to the match here. Again, great chemistry. I mean, them two really brawled it out. Great. I mean, I'm going to tell you, that was definitely a steel cage match, in my opinion. And Edge took the win, and I feel like the right person won because, Edge got his payback on Jericho's ass because Jericho made an upset by beating him at Mania. So, tell you, a really good match.
All right. Now this match I do remember. John Cena defeated Batista, last man standing match. So, this was a good way to close out the show. Great chemistry, great storytelling, and good spots here in this last man standing match. And these two really told their story here. Go ahead.
Yeah, of course. As the WWE title feud continues, John Cena and Batista. I feel like that last man standing match was definitely a match of the night. Definitely a lot of great spots there. Going through tables. Batista trying to fracture Cena's knee, trying to work on the knee there. That doesn't get the job done. And Batista shockingly Irish whips Cena and explodes the barricade. Batista tries to get the job done as he tries to Batista bomb it. Cena counters, AAs him through the announce table. Wasn't enough. And definitely one of my favorite moment throughout the entire match was when a kid screams, "I hate you, Batista!" Batista says, "I hate you too!"
Yeah, I've seen that.
And I'm trying to remember what from anything else that happened, but I mean, the incredible spots there. Definitely a good last man standing match in my opinion. But Cena did get the job done as he duct taped Batista's legs onto the pole, which Ricardo Rodriguez did that with Big Show with a copy paste at the Royal Rumble in 2013. But I think with Cena versus Batista, I think Cena, right person, won.
All right. And how would you rank the show?
I think I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
All right. I'll give this a 9 to 10. Like I'll keep my rating between those two.
9.5.
9.5. So thank you for watching this Extreme Rules 2010 review. We hope you all enjoyed and subscribe to the Moshcast, which our next 2 episodes is Yellow Wolf Love Story, and after that we're going back to the rock and metal genre, starting off with Metallica Kill 'Em All. And our next episodes in terms of Crash and Burn is the recap for Extreme Rules, which is tomorrow night, time of recording. And can you remind the viewers the episode after that? Wyatt?
It will be Great Balls of Fire review.
The Great Balls of Fire event, okay. And yeah, thanks for watching. And Wyatt, end this off, please.
Yes, thank you all for another episode of Crash and Burn Wrestling Podcast. You can watch this episode exclusively on Peacock. If you haven't, and give us your thoughts on what you thought about the pay-per-view down in the comments. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all enjoyed that pay-per-view. If you haven't watched it, again, if you haven't, watch it right on Peacock. Give everyone a follow on their social medias, and also go enjoy Extreme Rules tomorrow, which it really isn't an extreme pay-per-view.
It's not.
We had to review an old Extreme Rules. I feel like I reviewed the right one. So thank you all for watching. Please click like, subscribe, leave a comment, and show this podcast to all your friends.
There you go. Go ahead and do that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you for the Extreme Rules recap. Bye.
Crash and burn!